So first we are integrating with respect to y. So this whole term will be constant and we can take this out of integration of y. So we get integration of x going from 0 to pi by 2 root of 1 minus a square sine square x. Integration of cos 2y is nothing but sine 2y upon 2, and here we apply the lower limit of y and upper limit of y into dx. So we get integration of x equal to 0 to pi by 2. We are taking this 2 outside integration, so we get half root of 1 minus a square sine square x, and here this term will be upper limit minus lower limit. So when we put y equal to pi by 2, we get sine 2 into pi by 2. So 2 and 2 will get cancelled and we have sine pi. Sine pi is nothing but 0. Minus, when we put y equal to x here, we get sine of 2x into dx. So this is our new integration. So this entire term will now become half integration of x going from 0 to pi by 2. And here we have root of 1 minus a square sine square x. So here we have root of 1 minus a square sine square x. So we can write this term as 1 minus a square sine square x the whole raised to half. So here we have 1 minus a square sine square x the whole raised to half. And then we have minus sine 2x. So minus sine 2x into dx. We can write sine 2x as minus 2 sine x cos x into dx, and these terms will remain as it is. So now if you see, if we consider this term as f of x, so our f of x is 1 minus a square sine square x, then f dash of x will be derivative of 1 is 0 minus a square. What is derivative of sine square x? Derivative of sine square x is nothing but 2 sine x, and derivative of sine x, that is cos x. So now if you see, we have minus a square 2 sine x cos x. This term is matching with this term. Instead, we do not have a square here, so we multiply by a square and we divide by a square. So for this, whenever we have such terms like f of x the whole raised to n into f dash of x, we have the direct formula of integration. So we have f of x the whole raised to n into f dash of x dx. Then this integration we can directly write as f of x the whole raised to n plus 1 upon n plus 1. In our case, n is half, so this is our n, and f of x is 1 minus a square sine square x, and this term is f dash of x. So we have 1 minus a square sine square x the whole raised to n plus 1, that is half plus 1, which will be 3 by 2 upon 3 by 2, and then we apply the lower limit of x and upper limit of x. So this 2 and this 2 will get cancelled, and in the denominator we will have 3a square, and this term will be upper limit minus lower limit. So when we put x equal to pi by 2 here, we will have 1 minus a square sine square pi by 2. So we will have 1 minus a square, because sine square pi by 2 will be 1. So this term is 1 minus a square the whole raised to 3 by 2. So 1 minus a square the whole raised to 3 by 2. When we put x equal to 0 here, this entire term will become 0. So we will have 1 minus 0, which will be 1. So our I becomes 1 upon 3a square. Inside bracket we will have 1 minus a square the whole raised to 3 by 2 minus 1. This is our final solution, and this is how we solve the problem on changing order of integration with evaluations. More such problems we will see in our next video, so stay tuned for our future lectures.